Hey guys, this is Victoria and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be making my famous macaroni and cheese, and it's not any kind of macaroni and cheese, it's 5 cheeses macaroni and cheese. So today I'll be using the extra old cheddar. I have some Gruyere cheese, I have some Havarti cheese, I have some French Emmental cheese, and some marble cheese. I'm going to be using some old-fashioned pasta. It's like a straw. I'm going to be using that. I'm going to be using some butter, some flour, and my nutmeg. I'm going to be grating my nutmeg, and I'm going to be using some Dijon mustard for the white sauce. So guys, when I was small, my mom used to give me that macaroni. We used to call it macaroni at the time, to be breaking. I used to eat some of it raw. I do not know why I used to do that. But anyways, I used to take some of it and use it as my straw for my juice. Yeah. So I'm going to be breaking the macaroni maybe about 2 inches long. See guys? So guys, I am going to be infusing the milk with some onions, but I do not have onions. I'm going to be using shallots today. I am just going to take some cloves, and I'm going to be just pricking the onions with the clove like this, just to infuse the milk. So I have the milk. I'm going to be pouring the milk in the pot. And I am going to be putting my onions in here just to boil a little. You want to have it on a medium heat, not a high heat. Do not want the milk to burn. Water is boiling. You need to add some salt to the water before you put your pasta. And I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to pour the pasta in here. I'm going to give it a quick stir so it won't stick. And I'm going to allow it to cook. Maybe for less than 10 minutes, you're going to let it to cook. So I am going to be grating the cheese, and you need to, I'm going to be using the food processor today. So you need to have the cheese cut up in small pieces so it could fit the food processor slot. What I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be putting a piece of every one after the other, so the cheeses are going to be all mixed up together instead of just mixing it by my hands. So I'm going to be putting it on. I have the shredder, the grater in here. So guys, the pasta is all done. I'm going to be straining the pasta, removing it from the stove, and be straining it in a colander. You need to have the pasta cook al dente. You see how it's still a little bit still hard. That's how you need to cook the pasta. And the pasta needs to be all freely, not sticking together, you see. So I am going to be making the white sauce. They call it bechamel. And I have already gone ahead and I have had the milk nice and warm. As you can see, the milk is nice and steaming, warm. And I am going to go in here with some butter into the pot. I'm going to be making a roux. A roux is melted butter and flour. But I am going to be adding some finely chopped shallots to my butter, just to go in there with some extra flavor. So you're going to cook down the onions just for about maybe 2 minutes once the butter is melted. So the butter is all melted. I'm going to go in here with a little bit of flour. So it's going to be equal amount of butter to equal amount of flour. I'm going to show you guys. So you see, you have to pour the flour until when there is no more butter at the bottom of the pot. As you can see, it come together. So I am going to take a strainer and I'm going to be straining my hot milk to the pot. If you were supposed to add cold milk to the roux, it would make a lot of lumps. So you want to avoid that. You want to have the milk and the flour and the roux at the same temperature. So I'm just going to be pouring. And you're going to be stirring slowly. I'm going to be using a whisk so I wouldn't have any lumps in the pot. So I'm going to be adding some Dijon mustard. I like to use Dijon mustard. It has a nice sharp taste. So here I'm going to be adding a little bit of black pepper, and I am going to be adding some freshly grated nutmeg. I like to grate my own nutmeg. And I'm going to be stirring it until when it's thick and it coats the back of the spoon. And I try to limit the amount of salt in the mac and cheese because the cheeses are very salty. So I adjust just slightly the salt. So the sauce is almost done. As you could see, it getting to be the thickness you want, and you need to keep on stirring the sauce because you do not want the bottom of the pot to get burned. So as you could see, it's almost there, and I'm going to just taste for salt. So I'm going to go in here with about a teaspoon of salt, because then keep in mind we are going to be adding the cheese to that white sauce. So once it's coating the back of the spoon, it's going to be done. You see, guys? And you could do that finger test. See, it leaves a line, so that means it's done. So so the sauce is nicely done, as you could see. It's lump free. So I'm going to go in here with the pasta I cooked earlier on. And I'm going to be mixing the pasta and the sauce together. It looks so good already and it smells so good. You could smell the freshly grated nutmeg in here. And I am going to be going here with a mixer of cheese, of all the 5 cheeses. And don't be shy on the cheese, guys. Go with your fromage. Yes. I'm going to be stirring that. The sauce is hot, so the cheese is going to be nicely melted. I prefer to use white cheese because I do not like to use yellow cheeses. So all my cheeses that I use is always white. Guys, this is so smelling good. Maybe adding some more cheese in there. So as you could see, the cheese is all nicely melted. And I am going to be tasting for oh my gosh, this is so good. I guess you could eat it already without baking it, but we're going to be baking it in a cast iron pan. I'm going to be taking some butter and I'm going to be adding the butter here. And I'm going to be taking a paper towel and just swirling it around. Yeah. I am going to be filling up the pan. Ooh, that looks so gooey, guys, you see? You're going to be putting, this is my comfort food, guys. You want to be leaving a little bit of space in the cast iron pan, so when it's bubbling in the oven, you have enough space for it to bubble, guys. So this is just about what I need. And I am going to be going in there with some panko breadcrumbs, guys. To be going in here. I like panko breadcrumbs because it's lighter than regular breadcrumbs. You see, guys? And I am going to be going in here with some more cheese. Look at this. I am going to be putting it in a 350 oven until when it's nice and brown at the top and bubbling. So it's done, guys. Look at this. Ooh la la. And it's very, oops, I need a two-hander on this. Ooh. Look at this. So guys, the macaroni and cheese is out of the oven, nicely done. This is what you're looking for in the macaroni and cheese. As a sign it is done. Nice and bubbly all on around the edges. Cheese is nicely brown. And at this point you need to let it to rest for at least half an hour. And thank you guys for watching my video, and don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment in the comment box, and see you guys in my next video. Look at this.